Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this is, first of all, I want to thank Senator Sakaja because he has been consistent in pursuing bills that are useful to young people and particularly matters related to innovation. And Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, this is very good. This is a very, very good bill. The reason why I'm saying this is a very good bill is because there are things we take for granted in this country. And a lot of them, I know most of the submissions that have been made on the floor of this House by those who spoke before me gave a lot of consideration on the area of innovation. But this bill is not just about innovation. This bill is just about, even if you are starting a simple business, say you want to supply goods to a government facility or non-governmental facility, or you want to just start up a simple shop, Madam Speaker, to sell spare parts. This is about beginning. It's about starting a business, starting an innovation, investing in a technology. So we shouldn't make it so complex that those people who are watching us will think there is some complex bill that is being passed in the Senate called startup. Startup is just businesses that are beginning, technologies that are beginning, to inventions that are at the beginning stage. And the question every inventor or a business person who is starting business all the time is that, where do I start from? Sometimes, Madam Speaker, people have ideas. They have the real ideas that they want to do agro-business. But the question they ask themselves is that, where do I get the capital to engage in agro-business? Where do I get the capital to start a shop? So the answer that is in this bill, the most important part of this bill, is first of all to say, where do you start from? Which office do you go? Where do you get information? And that's why I really appreciate the fact that the bill recognizes that the agency established thereunder, inside this bill, is, Madam Speaker, going to become like a one-stop shop where information on startups is going to be located. Number two, the next question people ask themselves is that, where do I get the knowledge to improve on what already I have? I am thinking of starting a livestock business, but where do I get the knowledge to improve on the breeds of the livestock? Where do I get the knowledge as to, if I start today goat rearing business, where is the market? Where am I going to sell these goats? It shouldn't be so complex, so that a pastoralist who is sitting somewhere in northeastern or in Rift Valley or in the coastal areas must not feel like this is going to be just for elites in urban areas. It must also be an institution that is accessible to every business person who wants to start business, and doesn't have to be the complex business of starting a new IT business. It should also include that livestock farmer in Wajir or in Mandera or in Narok or Kajiado or any part of this country that practice pastoralism, including in Turkana and West Pokot. Madam Speaker, therefore this bill is very useful to the extent that we are going to have an institution established as an agency with trustees whose business is to ensure that this information is availed to every Kenyan who would like to start a new business. The third question is, people will ask, then where is the money? How am I going to start this money? Where is the capital? Again, this bill answers this question by establishing incubators, people who are willing to put their money in assisting upcoming businesses. And Madam Speaker, even though we haven't used so much examples from other parts of the world, you know that many businesses in other parts of the world work so closely with research and technology departments in the university. And most of these institutions look out for students who have the best innovations, those students who have the potential to establish good business, and they provide for them capital, or are ready to absorb them or buy their ideas and absorb them to their companies, or assist them to build those ideas to grow to bigger companies. We know that many technology owners in the United States who are based in California, Madam Speaker, most of them even were university dropouts, including the owners of Google, Facebook. Some left university, some studied throughout their university time, but started their business first year, second year. But because they have an enabling environment, a government and private sector that recognizes the importance of startups, their businesses were able to grow to become multinational companies and investments that are beneficial to many of us, including in this great republic. Madam Speaker, I think borrowing from or picking from where Senator Cheriot left, the problem is not the law. And I want Senator Sakaja to now listen to me at this stage. Number one, Senator Sakaja, for purpose of improvement of this bill, there must be an interlink between this bill and many other bills that are already existing dealing with similar issues that we are raising. For example, what is the relationship with this bill and the provisions of the science and technology law and institutions that are already established in the bill? This bill proposes that research and development shall be the focus of the agency that is being established here. But what happens to the science and technology institutions that has been established under the Science and Technology Act, which is actually the National Council for Science and Technology, whose responsibilities are to assist researchers translate their research into innovations that are consumed in the marketplace. Madam Chair, that interlink is very important between this bill and the Science and Technology Act. The other issue that must be looked at is the link between this bill and the intellectual property laws institutions, including KIPI, including Copyright Board, and all those institutions who have responsibility to help and assist Kenyans to use their technology in the marketplace. Again, what is their link? Because if we don't do this, Senator Sakaja, my fear is that we will create another parastatal, another agency, and then create another bureaucracy, which takes a lot of administrative overheads with an MD, with many vehicles, with agents, and these people are creating and opening offices all over the country. You will find out that every year we will be giving such institution 300 million or thereabout, because I've worked in a parastatal before as a director. And you will realize that the overheads are about 200 to 300 million. This money can be saved if we can put together all the agencies that are performing similar responsibilities to create one entity that is going to be the place of running all these businesses. For example, then if we are done with this, what will happen to the youth fund, for example? What will happen to these other agencies that are dealing with youth, women, innovation, related issues? Again, I am not saying I have an answer now, and I'm not saying also I have an exhaustive list of the institutions that we're dealing with. But the challenge we have in the country, and even that challenge was plucked out by the, was it a task force that the president put together to look at all the parastatals in the country, so that we do not have too many institutions that have a lot of duplication. Number three is the question of registration of and punishment for institutions that do not have registers and so forth. Many businesses, Senator Sakaja, will find in future that this registration fee here, you've gone through the Companies Act, you've gone through the registering the company in the first place, you go and register KRA certificate, you come back here, you are now having a startup registration certificate, and all these other things. Again, can we look at all the certificates that are required under the program that is being run by the Ministry of Industry, which deals with the question of the cost of doing business in Kenya? So that then again, we do not provide another layer of bureaucracy that will make the cost of starting business expensive, because you have to go through a startup institution, but at the same time you have to go to companies for registration, among other layers of institutions that are put in place.
Senator Sakaja, you have an intervention?
Yes, I'm willing to be informed.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Indeed, Senator Murkomen read my mind, and what he's saying is taken care of. Number one, There's no new agency being created. We're actually focusing on the already existing Kenya National Innovation Agency, Kenya. So that is where the focus is. Then number two, it has linked up with the Science and Technology Bill, including some subsequent amendments that are being made to that bill. So there's that linkage, because I agree, our solutions are not in creating too many organizations, which use much of the administration cost instead of focusing on the intended recipients. So on that one, I agree with him, and it's already taken care of in this legislation. Thank you.
Good information.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Again, I thank Senator Sakaja for acknowledging that these suggestions are not without merit, and that they are taken care of, and they will be taken care of at the committee stage. Finally, Madam Chair, we must make it clear also that although we have a startups bill and an agency dedicated to startups, it is a startup does not become a startup because it's been registered under this act. I don't know if Senator Sakaja understands me here. So that people can still operate with their startups beyond these. They can still have incubators in the private sector without necessarily coming through this bill. That those people who are going to promote other businesses, whether it's non-governmental, whether it is government, whether it is partnerships, whether it's private businesses, whether it's international business companies that want to assist certain businesses grow in other parts of the country. We do not want to create, Senator Sakaja, a situation where if an international investor or a non-governmental institution or intergovernmental institution would like to assist startups in this country, businesses that want to come up, innovations and technologies that want to come up, that someone will tell them, you cannot finance this institution unless you are registered under this act or unless you go through this agency, because again, it will create the unnecessary bureaucracies that will be put in place. The last thing is to say that, and to agree with Senator Wetangula and Senator Cheriot on the question of government and the duty of government in ensuring that this succeeds. Madam Speaker, if you've had, I know Senator Wetangula used to tell me here that towards the beginning of this term of Jubilee administration, I continued going further and further, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, from the center. And I like using the example that I'm the outer ring of the onion, outer layer of the onion ring. And Madam Speaker, since Senator Wetangula now is in the inner layer of the onion ring, Madam Speaker, I'd like to suggest to him that they should take advantage of this 1 year that they have been in this general partnership with the administration of Jubilee to ensure that startup businesses are also assisted as even they wait this bill. But as soon as we finish the elections of 9th August 2022, those of us who are selling the manifesto of the Hustler Nation, Madam Speaker promised the people of Kenya that we will move away from the economic theories of trickle-down economics, Madam Speaker, to a bottom-up approach, a new way of thinking, where the government will put more focus, Madam Chair, on assisting startups, assisting small businesses, assisting mama bogas. I was being given a good story by the Deputy President yesterday, Madam Speaker, about a lady who visited him after they met with the lady in Machakos. That lady left only, the Deputy President confessed that he gave that lady 10,000 shillings. They met at the marketplace. And the lady who sells boga, Madam Speaker, said her capital, her stock was only about 2,000 shillings. And for the stock of 2,000 shillings, she's able to make sales of between 300 and 500 shillings every day. And that because she was given another 10,000 shillings by the Deputy President, she was able to multiply her stock. Now she's able to sell up to about 700 and 1,000 per day. I didn't have a greater discussion to know what's the profit from what she's selling every day. You can see what 10,000 shillings was able to do to that lady. And you can see what 2,000 would do to her in her business. And that's a startup. What we are talking about in the bottom-up approach of economics is to identify and assist mama bogas, those people who are selling car parts in Grogan, those who are selling border motorbike parts across this country, those people who are trading in livestock. We want to assist them to ensure that they add greater value to their business so that we incubate our businesses across the country from bottom to go up. And I'm saying this and emphasizing it because Senator Sakaja over the weekend was in the company of a person who was confusing bottom-up approach economics, Madam Speaker, with bottoms-up, which is usually in China, it's usually called campaign. When people are having a drink on the table and enjoying themselves, they will say bottoms up, which means you empty all the bottle of the wine glass. That is different, Madam Speaker, from the bottom-up economics, which is an antithesis of the trickle-down economics of Senator Wetangula and others who have been in government since 1990s. We are saying it is time. We cannot do things the same way and expect different results. We are not saying that, Madam Chair, that if today I was participating and working in certain government as a supporting cast, that tomorrow I can't have my own ideas. President Mwai Kibaki worked with President Moi as a vice president for 10 years, and thereafter as a minister of health before he resigned in 1992 to run for president. For those from 1992 to 2002, when he became president of the Republic of Kenya, nobody asked President Mwai Kibaki, why didn't you implement those policies that you have when you are vice president of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi? But when he came to office in 2002, he was able to transform this country because he was now the driver at the seat. We are telling the Kenyans that the opportunity next year will come for you to choose now the hustler and the hustler captain as him being the driver, and we are going to change. And this change is coming from the experience and the understanding we've had for the last 10 years in the Jubilee administration, and we believe that trickle-down economics that is being sold by our competitors, Madam Speaker, will not change this nation. This nation will not be changed if we can invest in startups, if we can spend from down up to ensure that this country is okay, sorry.
Madam Speaker, when I heard Senator Senator Murkomen talking about the hustler nation and asking that we have a choice to make a choice while voting next year, I was wondering whether it is in order for him to be campaigning for the hustler nation in this floor and at this time.
Madam Chair.
Senator Murkomen.
Madam Chair, I understand the struggle of Senator Pareno. Her political party got lost, Madam Chair.
Senator Murkomen, I wanted you to respond to whether you
That's what I'm responding.
Whether you are campaigning or you are making reference.
That is exactly my response. That's exactly my response. Madam Chair, I'm saying Senator Pareno was running a very, very huge political party, and actually as a director of elections. But I understand her confusion at the moment because since this handshake, she doesn't know whether she's in government or she's in the opposition. But for those of us who have a clear mind of the policies of the future, Senator Wetangula put it very well, that the people who are listening to us here and debating about this startup bill will want to have the confidence that we have the proper political will for the implementation of this very important bill.
Another point of order from Senator Pareno.
Madam Speaker, he is even making it worse. He's saying for those of us who has a clear mind, is he suggesting that some of us, specifically me, does not have a clear mind? That is a suggestion that he's the only one who has a clear mind in this Senate.
Senator Murkomen, I was giving you the opportunity to say whether you are making reference only or you are actually campaigning.
Madam Chair, we are actually giving hope to the people of Kenya that the future of this bill is safe.
Okay, proceed and finish. You have only 2 minutes.
Its implementation will be achieved when the Hustler Nation takes over. And Madam Chair, to just emphasize to Senator Pareno that I have no issue with her understanding of what I said, but I just empathize and sympathize with her. And I wish she had a clarity of mind on what they are going to do if they were to be elected to run this country. And Madam Chair, so that's why I'm saying, and Madam Chair, you know all of us who are here represent a particular brand of ideology and politics that usually does not escape the people of Kenya when we give our contributions. And on behalf of the Hustler Nation, I'd like to tell Senator Sakaja we'll support fully this bill. We'll work together on the amendments that are there. And Senator Sakaja, you do not belong to those of bottoms-up approach. I want to welcome you to bottom-up approach economics for the benefit of this country. I thank you, Madam Speaker.